All right, looking at Construction Lab 3 today. I'm going to do two things. Over here, I'm going to look at the segment, and I'm going to create a perpendicular bisector using just a compass and a straight edge. And over here, looking at this angle, I'm going to draw an angle bisector using just a compass and a straight edge. So I may be off the shot at some points, but hopefully you can still see my hands, you can still see what's going on. First we're going to look over here at this segment, and again we are going to draw a perpendicular bisector here, and you're going to need a compass. Here's my compass right here. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to draw your line segment, of course, or the segment's already drawn for you. And you're going to want to open your protractor Your protractor will probably look a lot different than mine. And you want to lock it down so that it is open to a little bit more than halfway across. So you just eyeball it, but you want to make sure it's at least going to stretch more than halfway, okay? And lock it down. There's different ways of locking down your compass. Make sure you lock it down so this is not going to change. You're going to use this same measurement right here that you just chose multiple times. So here we go. I'm going to put the other end of my compass on an endpoint of my line segment, and I'm going to draw an arc just like that. Now remember, we want to keep that same measurement. I'm going to move to the other side. I'm going to put that piece down, and I'm going to draw essentially the same arc. Ooh. Endpoint is moving. There we go. All right, not the easiest thing to do on the wall, but as you can see, it intersected both the top and the bottom, and those intersection points are important, and so you want to mark those. On your paper, you should be able to get a nice clean sweep. Take your time with it, and so hopefully your arcs come out to look a little bit better than that. But regardless, we can see those points where it crossed, where they intersected, and I want to connect those using my straight edge. I'm not measuring anything here, I'm just using this as a straight line to connect these points. And when we connect those points, it is going to be perpendicular to our original segment, but also it bisected. Here's the original endpoints. It bisected. This segment on the left is now congruent to this segment on the right. These are the same distance, and that segment that we just drew, that line, is perpendicular. It's at a right angle to our original segment. So that is how we do a perpendicular bisector. Not that crazy. Not that crazy at all. Moving over here to our angle, remember our goal is to bisect this angle, so we want to draw a line through the middle that will split this angle into two congruent angles. So we know what we expect it to look like, but what is it actually going to look like? All right, how do we do this? Well, once again, you need to open your compass to kind of a reasonable. I'm going to close this down just a little bit. It's open just a little bit more than I would want. We want to open that compass to where, yeah, about halfway looks pretty good. We're going to put that, we're going to lock it down, because again, we're going to use this measurement multiple times. This is kind of how we're measuring things. You're going to want to put one side on that endpoint, make a sweep across your angle, as clean as you can, and where it intersects the angle is now very important to us. Those two places where it intersects the angle are two more points where we need to place our compass. Placed our compass, we're going to draw an arc in the center. Where those two arcs intersect is now the last important point for us. Very similar to what we did earlier, we're going to connect the vertex of our original angle with this point that we have found. And this right here is our angle bisector. That means that this angle up here is congruent to that angle down there. So those are our steps. Here, we were creating an angle bisector. Over here, we were creating a perpendicular bisector.